Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Death, Taxes, and Bananas podcast. As you know, you can find us on Spotify, Death, Taxes, and Bananas with Johnny Bananas, on YouTube, youtube.com/at Death, Taxes, and Bananas, and obviously on Instagram at Death, Taxes, and Bananas. You can slide into my DMs like my next guest has been doing for what seems like an eternity now. I know you guys have missed me. All right. I've missed you too. Literally getting an interview with cast members from this season of the Traitors. I literally would have I'd have better odds at getting an interview with like Nicolas Maduro in a maximum security prison. So, we somehow managed to do it. Call it the luck of the Irish. Call it, I don't know, the new Chinese New Year and the end of 1 year and being year zero. But I'm very happy to have this next guest on. From Survivor 44 champion to Castle casualty. Today, I am joined by the always strategic, always social, and always smiling assassin, Yam Yam, better known to the world as Yam Yam. I thought it was at first, but it's not. The J's are wise, people. This season of the Traitors gave us everything: paranoia, manipulation, alliances built on sand, and one of the most aggressively dramatic exits we've ever seen. Yam Yam didn't just get voted out this season. He got kidnapped by masked men and executed at a dinner table by a housewife. All right, let that sink in. So today we're breaking it all down: the gameplay, the psychological warfare, the mind games, and of course, the blinding love affair. The entire castle, half the country at home, and this fucking guy sitting right here had with that damn southern blue-eyed snake catcher Rob. So was it strategy? Was it manipulation? I mean, I guess there are certain certainties in life: death, taxes, and underestimating the wrong player. So here to break it all down with me, let's get into it. Yam Yam, welcome to the podcast.
Oh my God, Johnny, thank you for having me. That was amazing. You're basically Shakespeare. Like, I feel like I'm in the Globe Theater and you're like this monologue.
I'm like Shakespeare with ChatGPT.
I saw that you told Carolyn about that. Yeah, but I mean, the way you deliver it,
buddy, I had to, man. You know what? I felt like I had to step up to the plate today. I really had a intro to put on, especially because you wore red for me for Valentine's Day.
Oh my God. I thought this was going to be, a very intimate setting. I brought it. You didn't even bring me flowers. What's up with that?
I got candles lit. They're just off camera, and I did get flowers, but they're being delivered.
Oh, perfect.
They're being delivered as we speak to Puerto Rico.
My address.
Yeah. How the hell have you been? I'm glad to see, I'm glad to see that you're still alive. I was a bit worried about
traumatized that I was murdered in front of everyone. Oh, I cried so much. I had a blast. As soon as I stopped crying, which was like 24 hours after they murdered me, I was very grateful for the whole experience. I mean, who gets to do that?
Right? I mean, here's the thing. And I don't feel bad. I see all these people, crying when they get murdered or when they get eliminated or whatever. You know what? I don't feel bad for any of them. You know why? Because at least they had the opportunity to make it to one damn breakfast. And even if they didn't, at least they were allowed to come back for a second shot.
Because you didn't, right?
No.
You're like Dorinda, but not coming back.
I'm like Dorinda, but without getting a second chance.
Damn.
I'm like Dorinda without a second shot at love. That's what it is.
And with no classiness. Fucking
unbelievable, right? It's wild. Yeah, with a little more class, I'd say.
Dorinda is a beautiful woman. She sat next to me in the round table, and she would hold my hand under the table so I would control myself when talking to Michael. And I mean, it made me feel really special. I just wanted to fucking flip that table upside down.
And do you feel like this season, and we'll get into the strategy and the gameplay, but would you say maybe the people that have been better able to control their emotions and not flip the table over, do you think that's a winning strategy? And is that more difficult to do when you're actually sitting at the round table, when the heat is on you, than it looks like from somebody watching from home?
It was impossible to do for me. I think it all comes down to your personality. It's horrible, but year after year after year, we see that the people that are quiet and are able to control themselves are the ones that get farther. It sucks. It sucks. I had not a chance to be quiet from the beginning. Like, I had a lot of hit on me. So I was like, either you speak out, you go for what you want, like all the shields that I went and get at the beginning, and say my voice and say whatever I was thinking, because I was put into a little corner. I mean, Dorinda went back, and she went back super quiet, and she was able to get really far. But they asked me this at the room. I was like, if I go back, would I change anything? I was like, I don't think I can. I don't think have any control.
Yeah. It's not even. So my dad always says, it's a great quote: you control someone to the degree that you throw them out of control. And I've learned this, I mean, on this, the challenge year after year. And I find myself, when I'm able to keep a calm head, when I'm able to not let my emotions get the best of me, I can think a lot more clearly, right? Once you get heated, once the adrenaline starts going, once the blood starts pumping, it literally short circuits your brain, and it doesn't allow you to like articulate yourself the way that you want to. And yes, obviously, Rob was even saying in this last episode, like, I just got to go in, I got to keep a cool head, got to let Candace, kind of, lose it, and I'm not. But dude, when you're sitting there at that table and you have somebody that is basically making a case against you that is based completely on lies and fabrication. Yeah. That's tough, man, to to keep it all
personal. And to some point, it didn't even feel like it was against me because of gameplay. It didn't feel like it was against me because I was doing something about the game of the way it's supposed to work. It was more like, oh, it is you because of who you are. It just felt like that. So I could not keep cool. When I played Survivor, I had a lot of control. I knew what was going on. I knew what was going to happen every single day because I was such a big fan for so many years. But this show is like, these people are not even playing, half of them. They are, but it's not in a way that us gamers or you, like, you have done the challenge for so many years. You go in and these people, it's like talking a different language. It's like there's not a communication that feels real, and there's no way to get a point across because these people are in another universe. They're in the upside down. They're whatever. It's crazy.
And okay, and I guess that was my next question. Thank you for that segue. What do you think of there not being a lot of gamers cast on this season for the first time? And the fact that so many gamers were gone so early on, was it like when you guys got there, it was kind of like open season on the gamers, like, let's get these guys out of here? Or is that just the way, the game just kind of naturally shook down?
I mean, the fact that Seri won the first season, every single turret has had gamers or multiple gamers, at least one Big Brother and one Survivor. Then last season had 2 survivors. And it was a huge target. And this season not having a gamer in it, there was no way to protect us. And because no gamer was in there, it created such a mistrust within the gamers that the other people felt it. And it was like, if they're not getting along, if they're not working together, we need to do our own thing. And it just threw the game off for me, at least. I have to talk about my game. It was crazy. So I tried to connect with everyone, but what a year to be a gamer. Last year, you didn't want to be a housewife. This year, you don't want to be a gamer. It sucks.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad, what? Part of me is glad I didn't go now because I wasn't a short list to go. And then the creative changed at the end. They were like, we're not having gamers on this, a lot of gamers on this season. So I guess,
I guess they want you for All-Stars, Johnny.
They better. I'll tell you what. You think Dorinda was quiet this season? Holy shit. If I go on, I'm gonna be like a monk. I'm gonna be in the corner. I'm not gonna say a fucking word. They're gonna be like, oh, why does Bananas have a bald head and he's wearing an orange jumpsuit? Like, well, he's a monk now. He doesn't talk. He took a vow of silence and celibacy and whatever else is gonna help him.
You probably win.
Probably not. I've always said this, Jam, no matter what I do, buddy, I can show up to a show, sit in the fucking corner and read the Bible the entire season, and I'm still going to be public enemy number one, dude.
If it's an all-star, maybe. If it's new people, I can see you, if you're quiet, getting far. Yeah. Well, these people are in another mindset.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to, take some cues from, the people that can control their emotions, which is not you and I. I'm going to have to look to somebody else. All right. But and you were saying that again, because my season, when I went on, there were, some non-gamers, but there was still quite a few. Mm-hmm. You mentioned something about being in that environment with non-gamers, and it was like you were speaking a different language. So is basically what you're saying, if you come from a gaming background, whether it is Big Brother, whether it's Survivor, Amazing Race, The Challenge, whatever it is, there's almost like, because you've been on TV and because you know how to play the game, there's almost like a strategy or a playbook that people come in with. And that just isn't how people who've never been on TV play. And you don't really know where they're at. You don't really know exactly how to gauge their game because they're just playing from a different script.
Yes, but it all goes down to perception. And when a gamer goes hard and like gets a little group and this is what I think we have to do to get further into the game. This is what I think is important. This is what I think we should focus on. This is who we should test our theories on. When you go in hard, and it happened with Tiffany, you get a lot of heat because these people are like, why are you talking so much? Is it because you're a traitor? And it brings so much heat on you because they don't see it as applause. They don't see it as, oh my God, he's right. They just see it as like, who does he think he is and why is he talking so much? Because he's trying to cover something. And it gets lost in translation. It doesn't become a benefit for us. It becomes more like something that harm our game.
A hindrance, yeah. And you know what I find, and this is what it's getting to the point now where I feel like, all right, guys, we're just gonna have to like throw this whole we're just gonna have to throw this whole strategy out the window when someone's like, yes, when we murdered them or when we got rid of them, and they're like, that must mean they're a traitor because they say when we murdered them. But it's like that mistake has been made so many times by faithfuls at this point. I mean, it really is like, and I feel like some of the things that people grasp onto as evidence for why people should be eliminated is just sometimes, again, it's just that. It's like grasping at straws.
It's when you say we, it's like it's the group we murder. If the person got eliminated, they just go. I mean, but if it's a mistake that keeps saying over and over again every single season, then stop saying it, right? Second thing, what is important is that the only thing you have as a faithful, because if you're not a faithful, you're fucked, basically, point blank.
No shit. You want to be a traitor. Like, oh man, this person played a great game. It's like, yeah, it's really easy to play the game like that when you have all the power, all the fucking power, all the answers, all the information, and all you have to do is just be fucking chill.
Basically. So, and be pretty. That helps.
Pretty goes a long way.
But the only thing you can go about is like, what are the motivations of the stuff that's going on? But you need to be in such a mindset to like understand everybody's motivation. And that's how I think I won Survivor. Because I was really focused on, why is this person telling me that they want to vote this person out? What is their motivation? Is their motivation, because of what I know of them, match what they're trying to say and what they did last vote, right? So in this game, you also have to be paying attention to why the murderer got murdered.
Yeah. Did you have any inkling when you got murdered, and then they revealed to you who the traitors were? Do you have any idea? Were you on to any of the three of them?
I had no idea I was Rob, Candace, or Lisa. Of course, I screamed Lisa when I got murdered because she acted different with me during the banquet, and her kiss felt very different. And that's why I said it was Lisa. But it took me that moment when they pointed at me like 5 minutes before for me to click. Oh my God, if it's me, it was Lisa that killed me.
Because she kissed you on the mouth, not on the cheek like everyone else.
It was a tongue kiss, a sloppy, sloppy kiss.
She had the poison in her mouth, dude.
It was crazy. We went into the back.
That was hard for me to watch, Yam Yam. I'm not gonna lie.
You wish you could watch that.
Good. I'm glad you're dead. That's what you did.
I mean, a kiss of Lisa, Rena. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that must be the kiss of death.
Hello.
Iconic. She's like a Black Widow. But no, as you were saying, so you felt that moment because she was acting differently towards you. And I guess that's what I was going to say. How much different is it? Because I guess, again, Survivor it's about, I guess, there is manipulation involved. There is lying involved, but it's not as much about reading people as I feel like Traitors is. And it seemed like there was a lot of people that were just so off this season on who the Traitors were. Do you credit the Traitors for being really good traitors, or do you think that the Faithfuls just weren't that great at spotting,
We were so fucking loud and messy at the beginning that it was impossible to focus on what was really going on. And I'm part of that fucking test.
You did them a favor.
I fucking did them a favor. That's why they didn't murder. I think the only reason why I got murdered at the banquet was because it was Lisa, the one that got to choose by herself.
Why you? And this is what I was going to say before. Why you? Like, and the other thing is, if she knew Colton was onto her, right, and he was coming for her, it's almost like, dude, you're already like the time the clock is ticking on you. It's probably going to happen anyways. Why not get to him before he gets to you? Like, why you? Where's the strategy?
It would have been too obvious for her to kill her.
Okay, but why you? It could have been anyone else. Why you?
Because when after Michael left, I wanted to have fun. I wanted to have Survivor fun. Oh my God, I got to be on Traitors because I'm Yam Yam. I'm happy. I'm like, I don't care. I don't give a shit about what people think about me.
You like to jam out with your clam out.
Exactly. Whatever you said, it sounds amazing. But when I started having fun in the castle when Michael left, it was a few times with Lisa, and we got close and we were having fun. When she talked on Twitter that she spanked Rob, like I was with her, I was the one that gave her the stick. So I was having fun. So when I saw her
when did she spank Rob? Was this on TV?
After we banished Ron, that Lisa was a vote away from being a tie vote. It was going to be the first time in U.S. Traitors for a tie. And we banished Ron. And when we come back, Lisa goes like, I tell Lisa, you need to tell them they're being naughty, Lisa. And she was like, Rob, you are a naughty boy. You're a naughty boy for voting for me. Of course, I didn't know they were traitors. So there was like something else added to that.
It was deeper.
Yeah. So I go into like the little umbrella stand, and by the entrance, I get her like a bamboo stick and I give it to her. I was like, spank him, Lisa, spank him. And then we flip the shares of Natalie and Eric against the wall because they've been naughty kids. You go into the corner, you think about what you did for voting for Lisa. And it was such a fun moment. And that was like the night before we went to the banquet.
So what you thought was just in good fun, being naughty, I mean, maybe having a little entertainment. It was deeper than that. It was deeper than that.
Yeah. The thing, yeah.
But I'm saying her spanking Rob was in her mind was not being done out of fun and humor. It was being done out of.
Yeah. And then she did it with the hand, and then she was like spanking him in the ass with the hand, and I was like, Jesus. "Well, this is cute, right?"
This should have made the director's cut of the episode. Why did we not get this? There was spanking going on in the castle. Another first.
I know.
Speaking of all, the kind of the drama, the bad blood, do you think that, because there has been, and I think this is the first time we've seen this on the Traitors, the amount of off-camera drama that has taken place this season, do you think that is taken away from the show and like the gameplay of the show, all the extracurricular stuff that's happening on social media and outside of the castle? Do you think it's good or bad? Because I would argue, in a way, regardless of like what's being said, it has drawn so much more attention to the show than maybe it would have gotten. Ron versus, Dorinda, Colton versus Michael, Colton versus Lisa, now Rob versus, Candace. do you think that this is, good or bad for the brand, and has it taken away from kind of, the show and the gameplay on the show?
I mean, any publicity, I guess, is good publicity. I definitely wanted to behave post the game because I could have said a lot of shit about Michael. And it's not my thing. It's not my thing. That Colton Michael table, there was at least a good fucking 5 minutes of me screaming at him, and they didn't put that in.
At Michael.
At Michael. Like, I was basically the one that clocked what he said. Nobody had noticed what he said. When he said, Colton, you are a traitor because if anybody can keep a secret, it's you. Nobody said shit. And I started looking, like, what the fuck you said? Because he was very close to me. And then I started looking at everybody, and I told Kristen, and Colton was like very poised. And I went, ow, crying, banging the table. And I mean, I guess people tell me it's good that they didn't put it in, but I could have, been more vocal about it. I guess I'm doing it now, but it's so past so many weeks ago that I don't think it matters. But these people that have gotten into these issues like that drama, like the Twitter feud, it's not my thing. It's not how I live my life. Maybe I should, but it's not what I like to do.
I don't think so. Here's the way I look at it. If it happens on the field of play, if it happens in the castle, if it happens in the house, if it's on TV, fair game. What I don't like, and what I've always thought is unfair, is when people outside of the show, outside of the game, or in the game to score points, bring up things that have nothing to do with the show, have nothing to do with what happened on camera. They bring out outside things onto the show just to try and, again, score points, which is why I thought, the Lisa calling, bringing the stalker comment out, I thought that was way below.
I wouldn't have done that.
Because it has nothing to do with what happened on the show. And it was almost like she was so mad that he was able to get to her on the show and was able to basically lead the charge to get her banished. That now it's like, well, let me bring up some things to try and that aren't
nasty because everybody got shit in their closet. Everybody got shit like stories. I'm sure she also has some stuff. I for sure have some stuff that people can take advantage of online. But it's just it was very tense when it happened, when everything got pulled in, and it's like I cannot justify what everybody did before this game. I only know them from here on, and I knew that Michael, I didn't know who Michael was, but I learned really fast that he was a very controversial person. But I have not talked about all his bad comments on Twitter to justify how I felt about him in the castle. When I say that I get annoyed by him and I think he's annoying and I think he's got a fucking amazing edit for how asshole he was on the castle, it's just based on the stuff that I lived with him.
Now, don't you think though that, and again, there is, I think, a level where it's like, all right, this is not necessarily great for the brand, but I do think that you need opposing personality types. You've got like the Erics and the Marks in the house, right? That are very chill, very calm, very cool and collected. But if you had a whole house of people like that, you wouldn't have a show. So it's almost like you need the controversial players and you need the loud and outspoken and abrasive ones, to basically stir the pot and to cause drama and to cause friction. Now, obviously,
you need that, and it's good. But when you're the fucking one on the other receiving end, it feels like shit. But I'm happy I did not keep quiet, or like anybody keeps quiet. No, but definitely you don't want to fucking... When I got eliminated, the first thing I told the producers, they told me, what do you thought of it? I was like, stop casting more in people.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is there are some people, although I will say I was a little bit wrong about Eric in the beginning because on this last episode when Rob made him a traitor, I mean, I think this has been his best episode so far because up until this point, really the only thing that he's done was misheard a laugh, the magic ears. But now seeing him as a traitor after being like the most faithful of faithful, like that, now watching him have to try and like be like, you know, this murderous evil villain is just hilarious to watch. It's great TV, you know?
And I feel bad saying, I don't fucking feel bad saying they're boring, but they were boring there. But I guess they were hiding from me, right?
Yeah.
I guess they didn't trust me. But then I came home and I was like, these fucking boring people got to the end. And then I'm watching the show and I was like, I feel right. They were boring. But then I was like, after we all leave, the loud people, now you get to think and see, like, appreciate why they were like that. But it takes so long to see.
As they say, man, as they say, Jam, the squeaky wheel always gets the oil. I've had to learn this the hard way a lot of times, because even if what you're doing, you're just, I mean, that's what got me murdered. I will honestly, had I come on to my season and I just like kind of, like I said, flew under the radar and been a little more chill, I would have had a lot longer stay on there. But, you know, there are some people that get that energy, and there are some people that appreciate the sense of humor, and there's some people that, you know, like the over the top kind of in your face charismatic personalities, and then there's the ones that don't. And unfortunately, the one that season that didn't, all right, just happened to be a traitor. So yeah, it's unfortunate, man. But all right, so then you obviously, let's talk about this banquet. Had you guys been talking about before the banquet, because we've already had our murdered in plain sight episode, right?
That we didn't know there was in plain sight, but yeah.
Well, you didn't. Well, Ben, what was it? Ben, Rob, Ron, Rob. What was what's that?
Rob Cesternino, Survivor.
Yes. So he was aware, right, that it was when they hid the shit behind the picture frame, and Rob had to take it out in the kitchen. So they were kind of aware that the whole conga line situation. Did you guys think, all right, the murder in plain sight thing had already taken place, there's not going to be one? Or did you guys know, like, all right, this is different. We're sitting down at a dinner table, all of us. There's some weird shit going down tonight.
Stupid. I hate where this is going, Johnny. I should have known, bitch. But
did you not? No, I'm saying go.
We didn't know Rob Cesternino was murdered in plain sight, first of all. Second, he knew about it because of he's interviewed everybody that played Traitors. So he has like all the strategy videos out there on YouTube. So he knew everything that was going on. And with that day, we got an extra hour of like alcohol and booze. And I guess that should have been a click. Yeah. Because you only have like 1 hour. So we got a second hour. And we were like, what the fuck is going on? So that was a murder.
You get like an airplane bottle of booze? Yeah. Okay.
So for the banquet, when we're getting ready to go, the way the banquet was explained was going to happen. Have you seen UK Traitors?
No.
Okay, so UK Traitors are amazing. You should watch it. But they do this dinner like near the end. I think it's like when 8 of them are left. And it's a celebration of the game. Everybody talks what they're going to do with the money. Everybody talks about... And so when they explained us that we're going to have this dinner, they told me, I was like, oh, it's going to be a celebration of the middle of the game. And then, of course, they show a clip of me saying, I'm not going to touch anything. I'm not going to blah, blah, blah. But obviously that was recorded after I got murdered. So, so I was like, I want to do that. That's why I was like, woo, I'm so happy. Ugh, whatever.
Tell me if this is just the edit, but this is the way it seemed. It seemed like Lisa came in and she was being so extra at that banquet, and I'm sorry, but it seemed like more so like kissing everybody. Like was anyone like onto her? Like, all right, she's being extra at this dinner, and there was no.
Colton was the one that was like looking at her all the time, but she comes in and they show a clip because that moment when I touched the brooch and she asked me like to touch it because it's pointing, it happened like as soon as she walked in.
Right away.
Yeah. It was me and Maura, and she comes straight to us, and I guess she asked both of us. They make it seem like it was Natalie, Christine, and me, but she asked both of us, and I guess I'm the one that goes and closes the pin.
So that's what I was saying, because it seemed like, yes, you just, it seemed like a rant. I mean, not necessarily the most strategic murder. So it almost seemed like she was just like, all right, let me just get somebody with this.
Get this done. Yeah, she was like, let me get this done.
Yeah.
And because we were so close with the spanking, I was like, I just felt really happy to see her. And I should have known for stuff that happened before we went into the banquet hall. But
I mean, you probably thought, dude, now that we've once you get spanked with somebody, I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, how can you don't get much closer to somebody?
Hello.
Like, we're bonded.
And she's the one doing the spanking.
Yes.
I follow Ashall, Johnny. So I would have loved to do the spanking myself, but how would that fucking have looked on the fucking episode of me, Puerto Rican 39-year-old, spanking the youngest guy in the castle?
I mean, I would have watched it.
I relived that moment in my head.
I would have thrown that HR violation right out the window, Jam.
I go in and when I say I should have noticed because she was being dramatic, they show a little bit of when she's talking to me after I fix her brooch, that she's looking at me with her big eyes. And she's like, I tell her, and they're showing on the episode, it's like, there's something about the way you're looking at me today that feels very different. That it's like stars, like your eyes are like shining like stars. And that, with the way she kissed me, was how I clicked. Oh wait, because at that moment when it was happening, I was like, we finally became really close.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was looking for that Caroline relationship in the castle.
Yep.
And that I had on Survivor. So when Alan repeats the speech of the banquet of like somebody's gonna get murdered, because he said it two times. He said it once, the potions were taken, and then he said it again. The second time he says the speech, and I'm listening to it with a calm brain, he goes, the curse of the kiss repeats itself. And that's when I look at Mark and I said, fucking Lisa,
so then why did you fight for the elixir harder? Because this is why I thought the Tara and Natalie argument about, well, we were served food by Steven was so stupid, is because it's like, okay, well, raise your hand if you got served food. There's 8 people at this table potentially that all got served food. So that right there should have null and voided the I was served food argument, right? And then there was also, and I know you thought it was, the kiss, but I mean, was it an air kiss or was it like, did she actually make contact?
She still says this was an air kiss. No, it was a real kiss, because as soon as she kissed me, I felt warm. I was like, this bitch kissed me for real.
Wow. Did it? So that was the first time when you were like, you know what? Finally, I've been trying to have that Carolyn moment with Lisa. I finally got it. Does it kind of take some of the meaningfulness out of it, knowing that moment was because she was killing you kissing you or trying to kill you?
I've been resisting that train of thought, but it's there. It's like everybody tells me, it's like, who do you get along with of the cast? And I was like, oh, Lisa, I love her. But of course, she murdered me.
We did it. We made great progress. Unfortunately, it was
therapy, Johnny. I didn't know this was gonna be like that.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, speaking of therapy, I remember when I was the first one gone. I remember sitting down with like a psychologist, and they were like, "Are you okay? Is everything fine?" I'm like, "The fuck? You know what I do for a living? I jump off buildings. Okay, I get like run over by human beings twice my size. I get I have to eat the most disgusting shit on earth and basically risk my life. Like this was chill." What was it like? So Alan announces it's Jam's murdered. These masked men drag you out of the table. What was that like? That must have been weird.
Two things. I know everybody wants to hear like, I felt horrible, blah, blah. But I was so fucking exhausted by that point.
Yeah, mentally.
That you can see it in my face. As soon as he says, like, it's you, Jam. I look at Mark and I said, like, I told you. But with such fucking zen.
Yeah.
That, because I was exhausted. I wasn't getting along with people. I didn't have a lot of friends left. Everybody got murdered at the beginning. Not only gamers. I was working with Monet, Caroline, like other people also. And everybody that was left was like not really talking to me. And I was like, they all think I'm a fucking traitor. I was like I kind of like relief. But then as soon as I had that little moment of like relief, when I told Mark it was Lisa, she kissed me, and he's not believing me. Like, I'm still a fucking traitor in his brain when I'm basically murder. Like, this is the one confirmation. Everybody, if you look at everybody's faces, they're like, no fucking way, Yam Yam getting murdered.
Yeah.
And that's when I start screaming. It's Lisa. She kissed me. She kissed me. It's Lisa. Real Housewives don't kiss. Real Housewives don't give real kisses, because everybody was like, how do you know? And they were so calm that I just want to fucking rip their heads with me as I was getting pulled out.
Yeah, that was brutal. I mean, in a weird way, I would rather be murdered like that than have to walk in and find the damn envelope on the chair.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because at least you get a dramatic exit. It's no surprise, like, oh, that you don't show up to breakfast. It was, you know, and it's again, I think you made the most.
Sorry, that's the fucking way not to, like, nobody wants to fucking read a fucking envelope in a room. Fuck that shit.
No, I know. You tell me about it. Been there, done that.
I'm sorry. You know, I asked the universe 3 things when I went on Survivor. I was like, I'm gonna win this. Fucking yeah, I'm gonna win this. As soon as they called me, I knew I was gonna win it. For this, the way everything was breaking down, I was like, I wish I can wear my big outfit for the banquet, because they told us there was gonna be a banquet. I wish I get to episode 7, and if I have to leave this game, I hope it's in front of everyone. Everything fucking happened the same day.
And you did it. I mean, yeah, you were looking fabulous. All the feathers.
So that was the one outfit that the stylist of the show did for me. Everything else was done by my husband.
Oh, really? Husband?
Yeah, my husband has. Yeah, my husband is a fashion designer.
What was all that 1 in a million talk, Yam Yam?
The what?
All that 1 in a million talk.
What does that mean? I hear a million and I hear $1 million. I don't know where it's.
You haven't seen Dumb and Dumber, the movie?
Oh, I've seen it, but probably with subtitles in Spanish. No.
Yes. At the end of the movie, when Jim Carrey, she introduces her husband, and he goes, husband? Because he said, what's the chances of us being together? And she goes, 1 in a million.
Yeah.
And then when he finds out she has a husband, he goes, what was all that 1 in a million talk?
Love it.
So, okay,
so would love that movie and know it by heart. But I know The Land Before Time and Toy Story by heart.
Oh, dude, fucking Littlefoot? You kidding me?
I have the fucking. It's the only plush toy I have from my childhood. It's in my bedroom. It's a Littlefoot plush toy.
Land Before Time was one of the greatest cartoons of all time.
With the magic leaf? With the magic leaf? Oh.
Yep. Yeah.
And Birdie and everybody. Oh.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, can we do that for Halloween? Let's get together and do that.
All right. Where do you want to go? You want to go Florida or Puerto Rico?
No, fuck Puerto Rico. Let's go Florida or LA or New York.
Right. Well, you know where I'm at, buddy. South Florida, Boca.
Messy. I want the messier, the better.
We get messy around here. Don't you worry. Don't let don't let the clean set here fool you. All right. You see what's going on behind the camera. All right. Let's talk about the Traitors. Now this is obviously before Candace gets banished. First of all, this little beef that we have between Candace and Rob. Do you think she called him a gaslighter online? Is that taking a little too far? Because isn't that the whole point of being a traitor, is lying to people and gaslighting them and making them believe something that's not true?
And it is a fucking game. Yeah. The way he answered, it's a game. Like, get over it, it's a game. And then we see this clip in the episode where this conversation really happened before Twitter, or before wherever it was posted, Instagram or whatever. It is the whole game. Like, you just carry along people as long as they want to get carried. And at some point you have to, like, make them believe you're all in when you're in it for yourself. So, and Rob says this, and tell me if you believe this or not. He basically says, I believe it. He says it, I believe it. Of course. Rob basically makes a point. He says, listen, Candace, had you not said my name, had you not gone this rogue vote, again, made this emotional decision, and had she just kind of fallen in line and be like, this is the way everyone's going, okay, to save my own skin, I gotta go Lisa. Do you think that was the downfall of her game? Do you think that's what led to the demise of her game? A. And B, do you think that Rob was being honest when he said, had you not come for me, I was not going to come for you? I don't think necessarily that vote was her demise with the faithfuls. It was her demise with Rob.
I know, but that was their point. But when they banished her, though, that was everyone's excuse for doing it. We don't understand where that vote for him out of absolutely nowhere. You've been dead set every single time. Once you were set on something, that's the way you went with, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you throw this rogue vote when Lisa goes home. What was that?
It's not a cute look. It's not a good look for her for that vote. But her name was already being talked. She was going to be the next target.
Was it?
It
Candace?
doesn't matter. Even if she did not vote for Rob or did amazing on the round table, everybody was going to banish her next. That was what's going to happen. And so, I feel like she didn't know that. So that's why she kept acting like, oh, I can do whatever I want. And that was used against her to build a bigger argument against her. It's like if Lisa hadn't kissed me or murdered me, she was going to be the next one again, too. There was something going on that the two of them were going to go back to back.
So, and again, this is what's again totally fucking mind-boggling to me. Generally, what happens on the Traitors is if a traitor goes home, but before they go home, they are dead set on it being another person, and then they get murdered. Everyone's suspicion then goes to that person because it's like, well, the traitors know who the traitors are. Yeah. What the fuck is going on? Not one person is clocking Rob at this point, even after on Candace's way out, she's like, was making a case for him. Like, what is going on here?
He's amazing at the game and getting in with people, obviously, because even Kristen says, I wasn't there by that point, but Kristen goes, the only thing she left us is Rob, but it cannot be Rob. It cannot be that guy. And everybody criticized Candace's game because she was playing with the traitors, right? And she wanted the traitor team to work. So she was agreeing to murder and banish people that trusted her. By this point, halfway, everybody that was left was people that trusted and liked Rob. Mm-hmm. And that was her demise. And that's why I'm saying she would have been the next one. And that's why he was able to brush off, oh, she just did it to fuck with me, right? She just did it because she was mad at me for whatever reason. But they never saw it as a clue. They took it as this bitter traitor leaving the game.
I think one of Rob's, he's had a lot of good moves in the game, but I think one of his best moves was the first time he voted Lisa. When it was the decision between Ron and Colton, right? And then he went with the group and Lisa almost went home. But by him voting for Lisa, it made it, that is what really, I think in the faithful's eyes made it be like, all right, well, this guy's definitely a faithful, because then once Lisa was gone, it's like, well, I voted a faithful out.
Twice. Yeah.
Same with Candace. And it just, again, it just fell in, like all these things have just fallen into place. And now where we stand in the game with, you've got Tara and Johnny, who everyone thinks one of them's got to be a traitor, right? There's 3 round tables left. Yeah. And now they voted out Steven. So now you still have the 2 people. So literally the next 2 round tables, if this guy could just keep his nose clean, man, he's got a fucking free ride straight to the end.
It's crazy.
And then you got Eric, poor guy, who's been a traitor for 1 episode. And now
he's crapping his pants. Poor guy.
Poor guy, dude.
Gonna have a nervous breakdown.
Do you think that was the right move for Rob to pick him as the traitor? Who would you have picked?
I would have picked Natalie, but fucking love Natalie. But she was gonna get banished next. And I don't know how would that work with the rules of the game regarding like having a certain number of traitors in the turret. But the way he explained it, he already got Mara. Mara was basically a vote with him anywhere he goes. He didn't need it to convince this person that he was like someone to work with. Like he needed this choice to be a choice of someone that he needed to convert 100% to his side.
Yep. It was a wild card. Somebody that he didn't have in his pocket already.
Correct. But Mark, like he said, would have been too much of a risk because then Mark would have been too like nervous to work with him. But Eric felt really comfortable with him.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I got to say, dude, now, Kristen's on to Eric. I mean, this poor kid's sweating in his socks. And then you got, obviously the Tara and Johnny situation. I kind of feel bad for them, dude. Like,
Tara and Johnny.
Tara and Johnny. Yeah. I kind of feel bad for the two of them. Like, they're the ones that are getting targeted for just existing, essentially. They haven't really done anything to make themselves look all that suspicious.
Well, they fucking lied to everyone that they were best friends. That's what they did.
Oh, they are. What, that they're not, or that they are?
That we didn't know they were best friends.
Buddy, these two have been like on TV together.
I had no fucking
announcing
idea.
The Olympics for like a decade.
Well, people that watch the Olympics and watch their skating rink, whatever, should have been telling everybody else that was not, these people are best friends.
Well, if I would have been there, I would have told you they were best friends because I watch skating rink stuff.
Would you? Or then you would have found out that you were talking about them and then get murdered? I don't know. Yeah. It's like you get blamed if you say too much. You get blamed if you say too little.
I think what it all comes down to, and I think what it all comes down to, it has nothing necessarily to do with gameplay. I think it comes down to like likability. And I was saying this before. It's like I don't know if it's like this on Survivor, but on the challenge, you keep people around sometimes, even if they're not like necessarily working with you, just for the entertainment value. You're like, this place is so boring and there's so much stress. I need the little bit of entertainment I can get. Yeah. And I mean, for a lot of people, the entertainment was like, watching Rob walk around in a crop top.
It was nice to see. Of course it was. But I think it's so hard. It's so different from Survivor, because Survivor, you don't want like big threats to stay. And here is like, you just want to keep someone at the end that you know is a traitor and then banish him at the end. It depends on who you are, where you're standing, what you're about, who you're with. It's every season, it's so fucking different. To this day, I don't see a clear path other than being quiet of how to get to the end. It's very hard.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's I'll tell you what, it's been a fucking Rob's put on a master class this season. I gotta say, and this is coming from someone who's done reality TV for a long time, and I've matched wits with some of the pretty stellar competitors out there, but like just listening to the way that he goes through his progressions and he like gets reads on people. The fact that he hasn't used the dagger yet, the double vote dagger. Mm-hmm. And again, his mind went to, well, I don't need to use it because the people that are aware that I already have it, like that's just a threat hanging over their head. So it's almost better. Most people have been like, fuck it, I'm using it right away. Or I'm using it because I want this to happen. Instead, he's just like, nah, dude, just the threat of me having it is
what people don't understand is like, they think he's going to use it to get a traitor out, and he's using it to protect himself.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying,
so
man.
It's like, why is he not using it? Use it. Tell them you have it. And he's like, I'm going to use it when my name is on the table.
Yeah. We're out here playing checkers and Rob's just out here fucking playing with his snake. All right. Jam. I want to let you go. I don't want to piss off. I don't want to piss off the powers that be. And I've met your husband. For those who don't already follow you out there, where can they find you? And not Puerto Rico. I mean, on social media.
Well, if you're in Puerto Rico, come to my salon, obviously. But on Instagram is Yamil PR. It's YAMILPR. And then everything is on Instagram. Or my webpage, jamjampr.com.
All right. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Johnny Bananas.
You want to jam out with Jam? You know where to find them. Dude, thanks for coming on, man, on such short notice. I appreciate it. Usually,
it was a pleasure.
I mean, I'm batting 1,000 at this point for sliding the dude's DMs and them responding. So thank you for not ruining my streak. I appreciate that.
I could never say no to you, baby.
Oh, love you. Well, listen, what is it? Te llamo.
Te llamo.
Mi corazón es tu corazón.
Ah, qué lindo. Gracias.
Fuego en mi pantalones. All right, Jam. It was a pleasure. Thank you for stopping by the Death, Taxes, and Bananas podcast, where the tea flows like wine and my guests instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. I'm Oprah, and I love you.